What trading skills do you need to improve on if you want to day trade the football index market? Right, the first thing you've got to be prepared to do if you want to day trade is back testing. Back testing, back testing, back testing. Basically, just loads of practice. Because if you don't practice, you're not going to know the right time to buy, the right time to sell, or the right time to hold. I mean, look, day trading, we want short-term results, okay? We want short-term profit. So to do this, we need to log our trade management. We need to log what the market is doing. And then we will be more comfortable with our decisions. Because if we have all this data of when the best time to sell is, that you should hold in that position, the best time to buy, then overall we can be comfortable with our decision that over the long term, and even 6 times out of 10, this will be a profitable trade. Now, by doing all this back testing, all you're doing is putting together a profitable system. Let's use football as an example. Sometimes weaker teams get the victory over their opponents. And they do this because on the day, despite having lesser players, they have a better system. So if you put that to trading, you might not be the best trader out there, but if you have a profitable system, then long term, you'll make money. Now, being willing to sell when the time is right is one of the hardest actions to master when trading on Football Index. In my opinion, it took me a long time to master it. Now, as traders, we can buy players off the bat. I know I don't speak to anyone who struggles with buying players, so to speak. But when it comes to selling, the questions we usually ask ourselves is, am I selling too early? I'm in the red, why am I going to take a loss? Or shall I buy more and just average my price down? That's because the brain is naturally sending warning signals to you to question yourself, especially if you're in the red. But selling when day trading is so important because we want short-term results, remember. So it's actually more beneficial for us to put our money to better use in a trade that might work rather than staying in one that isn't. So be willing to sell is massively important. I mean, let's not be greedy trying to squeeze out that last little bit of profit. In my experience, day trading, the biggest killer to good trades is just hanging on too long once a trade is stalled. Have a system and sell at the right time, and be prepared to sell quickly if you're wrong. I mean, you need to be ruthless with your entries and exits. When you're day trading, whether you like it or not, you're competing against other traders. Okay, so if you don't take that possible profitable trade, someone else will. If you don't exit at the right time, someone else will. Okay, so it's important that you are decisive with your entries and decisive with your exits. While you're in a trade, do not tip players. You want to get in early and you want to get out early. So if you're thinking of buying someone, don't put it out there for everyone else, because by the time you go in, the value could have gone. Equally, if you're in a trade and you tell some other shrewd traders about it, they might go and buy the player and get out before you and take profit from you. So you've got to be like stealth. When you're day trading, most of the strategies have got to be really stealth. You go into the market with X amount of money and you want to come out with more. Okay, so forget all the the pump and dump rubbish you hear on social media. Just keep your tips to yourself. You've done the hard work. You've done the research. Okay, let the trade play out with your system and don't worry about what anyone else is doing. The hard fact is that when you make a good decision, you're basically profiting off someone else's bad decision. It's like what we said before about when you hold too long. When you hold too long and you see the price dropping on you, it's someone else making a good decision, profiting off your bad decision to stay in the trade. So don't waste your time questioning every bad decision you see on social media or the Football Index website. Just concentrate on your decisions, your exits and your entries. Bad decisions, good decisions, they make the market go round, and we need both of them. Now, what about dividends? Well, when you're day trading, obviously it's all about the price rise, and dividends are a bit of a bonus. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't factor them in when making a decision to buy a player. I mean, dividends make the market go round, right? So whether it's a transfer rumour, a big fixture, or something else traders are buying into, always take the dividends into account of what others are thinking. I mean, transfer rumours mean media dividends, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if the player's moving from Sampdoria to Real Betis and is unlikely to even get on the media board. Don't question the decision. Just think if others will buy into it because of that reason. The same with performance buzz. look at the matches that day and try and figure out who people are going to buy into it performance-wise. You know, that means that you could buy into it as well, benefit from the price rise, and be out before the match even starts. Short-term day trading doesn't mean you should ignore the dividend potential. There's just perhaps a different way of looking at it. Now, I just want to touch on value before we end the video. Value is so important when day trading. We can have these quick, rewarding returns, but equally, if we buy at a bad price, we can find ourselves deep in the red. Now, value is simple. It's just whether the price is more likely to go up rather than down. And like I said before, if you buy at a bad price, you can quickly find yourself in the red. Now, if you get on the right side of value, your risk and reward is already worked out for you because the potential drops are very small compared to the rises. So already you're in a good position in the trade. Now, a few rules that I have: if I don't catch breaking news, whether it's a transfer rumor, whether it's a team sheet, if I don't catch it within the first few minutes, I'm unlikely to get on. Because like I said before, other traders you're competing against are ruthless. They're very quick. So if you don't get on it right away, they will, and then already you're playing catch up. Unlikely also to get on something that's 4 or 5 pence up already. It sounds quite a small amount, but when you're day trading, 5 pence is quite a decent rise. Again, once you start practicing and making your own rules, all this will become apparent to you. You'll have the best averages of when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, and you'll have rules in place to help you get on the right side of value. Now, one more thing when you're day trading, make sure you have the time. So you either have a day off, the kids are at school, you know, or whatever, you work from home even. Just make sure you can give the market your attention, because if you're at work, the market won't wait for you to get home before it moves. So you need to be able to give the market your attention, whether that's on that particular day or you work from home usually, like I do, so I can day trade most of the time. But you need to be able to give the market your full attention or you're going to get burnt. So if you do work 5-6 days a week, either day trade on your day off or just have a strategy that works around your lifestyle. Right, so I'm going to wrap up the video now. I hope I've given you some good ideas when it comes to day trading and you can take these forward. If I do leave you with one thing, it's just create your own system. It doesn't have to be complicated. Day trading is tough. You know, short-term trading is tough because it really is. You really do have to have a good idea of when to buy, when to hold, when to sell, and sometimes under pressure environments and in quick time. But if you have a simple system, it can make all the difference. And especially if it's a profitable system, which I'm sure you can work it into over time, then you're laughing. And that's all I do. I have a simple system which works for me and a few strategies inside it. And over the long term, I can make money day trading. But it took me ages to do. So don't expect it to work overnight. But I hope this video is giving you some good ideas, because these are some of the stuff that I struggled with when learning. Right, if you've got any questions for this last video, then just leave a comment below. I'm going to be starting with a £500 bank, as you see here, and going through the entire 2018-2019 season. If you want to come along on a journey with me to see how much money I can make at the end, then subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.